Honourable Shane Jones.
Tēnā no tātou e te māngai o te whare. Tuatahi e whakātu atu ki a tātou e roti te whare ka tautoko mātou o te rōpū reipa i tēnei pire, kia oti wawe, tana whiriwhiringa i tēnei pō, tautoko no ki mātou i ngā whakaritenga i whakatakotongi ai kia kauara wātu tēnei pō katoa e pau i a tātou, e taukume ana mō tēnei pire. Kone atu i tērā, putanga koro atu i taku hoa i a mita, ko te nuinga o ngā mahi e hara mātou i te tauhau ki e nei mahi, me nei otia mātou te whakamahi i te ture, hei muru i ngā raruraru haoti te he o tērā, kia riro mā te iwi no rātou ngā taonga e whiriwhiri me aha ngā taonga. Ngā puari o te ao Maori, ko tō te rā ki rungi e ngā puari. E ngā puari i whakatūtūngi ai i te wā, i muanu atu i te taha ki a mātou o roto i te tai tokerau, i muanu atu i te pakanga tuarua, arano atu wetahi o ngā puari i whakatūngi ai e rātau ka pahe mō ki muri. Nā reira me pēnā ngā kōrero mo te wahanga ki ngā kaupapa mātaitai, ki te pire mō ngā ika, hore he raruraru, tā te mea ki te tini hea, te ingoa haungano, te ingoa, engari ko te runanga, te puari rānei, te rōpū hei arataki i ngā take Pākihi o roto i te tahi iwi me kauara wātu tātou e whakauaua i te huarahi haere mā rātou, ka tahi tēnei ka whakamāmātia. Nā reira me pērā rawa te kōrero i roto i te reo aronui, kānui no atu tō mātou tautoko. Nā reira tēnā tātou katoa, Mr. Speaker. Naturally, sir, we're going to support this bill, and it need not be a matter of controversy. I find myself, sir, in the unusual position of agreeing with tauhenare, and I'm only sad, sir, that this bill doesn't contain a section dealing with sign language. There is, sir, scope that one of the Maori trust boards that will be improved could be encouraged to offer sign language lessons, and indeed, sir, I would encourage the great-grandson of the original tauhenare in the House to take sign language, to ensure, sir, that he doesn't unwittingly worsen the position of being the chairman of the Maori Affairs Select Committee, put his thumb the wrong way, put his finger in the wrong direction, or indeed give the impression that he's giving a gang salute. Because, sir, that won't advance the interests of our people. The Minister of Maori Affairs this evening has been represented by Georgina Te Heuheu, and she's done it ably. So I don't think, sir, we should overlook the fact that we are in a deep crisis when we look at the position of our young men and women in Māoridom. And whilst addressing or simplifying the process for Māori fisheries assets to be better managed, or Māori trust boards to be slowly reformed, or indeed Puke Tangiora estate to be modernised, none of us, sir, in particular Māori members on that side of the House, ought to lose sight of the fact that these are largely administrative changes that will impact on some of our people, but not the majority. And the majority of the people, in particular the young people, have been forgotten about. The policies, sir, that unfortunately drive a lot of the Māori affairs thinking at this particular point in time has consigned them to an unemployment scrap heap. So, sir, not a day in this or a night in this House should go past without us reminding the listeners of Parliament, the observers of politics, that whilst these small amendments, sir, enjoy widespread support, the deeper malaise affecting our people has unfortunately led to an approach riddled with neglect. And there's neglect that's come from the junior party, the Maori Party, and there's widespread neglect, unfortunately, sir, that has come from the Maori members in the National Party. Now, sir, it's unfortunate, sir, that this bill this evening obscures, sir, the opportunity for us to talk about those real issues. Now, sir, I know wild gesticulations from that side of the House may sort of occupy a wee bit of space, but unfortunately, sir, they do not, sir, mask the reality, and the reality is that as our people seek to make these improvements, they're largely being forgotten, ignored and neglected. And, sir, it's a matter of some disappointment that that neglect is nowhere more evident than in the attitude of the former Minister of Maori Affairs, sir, actually these issues were dealt with in a very unsatisfactory way back there. They were tidied up by Tauhenare, sir, tidied up by Tauhenare in his dreams, addressed by Parekura Horomia, and that's why we support Sir Dr. Peter Sharples this evening doing that. But the real issue, sir, is one of willful neglect, ignorance, and, sir, a sense of our rangatahi being jettisoned. And so they're being jettisoned because the current ministers and, sir, the other members of the other Maori members of the government have other priorities, as reflected by the Prime Minister. Now, sir, that's an unpalatable fact, and it pains me to point it out. But, sir, in the interests of openness, in the interests of candour, and, sir, it's very, very important. Now, sir, it comes as no great surprise that these fangs, sir, actually are hurting. And perhaps the best way, sir, to point out is that whilst we support it, sir, we're going to remind the majority of our people that the major policies have left them worse off. Puke tangi ora, kei te pai for the beneficiaries there. Fisheries, kei te pai. Maori trust boards, kei te pai. Sir, but the real challenge lies, unfortunately, in a state of neglect. And all the shouting, sir, and all the shouting, and all the wild finger painting in the air doesn't change that sad reality. Now, sir, I should finish more on a positive note. And the more positive note is, sir, is that we will support this bill, and that we will sort of truncate our speeches to ensure, sir, that we actually focus not only on the bill, but the issues that do influence people's lives. And, sir, I can't be held responsible for the fact that the Maori members are slowly diminishing in relevance on that side of the House. That is of their own doing. Irrelevant, sir, not only in the hierarchy of the party, as reflected, sir, by the very miserable rankings that they enjoy, but also, sir, the very low rankings that they're scoring amongst our people. Because they know, sir, that they have been overlooked. They know, sir, that they have been neglected. And, sir, it's really a story of neglect. Just as the trust boards have been neglected, so the interests of Te Ao Māori have been neglected, sir. And it's a case where there's an inverse relationship between a loud voice and the ability to influence change. Now, sir, it's possible that some of them will be back in a second term. And so I've no doubt that they too will finally see the light, that as the assets that earlier generations sought to secure, to actually transfer, sir, to our people, they will watch them wiped out and dissipated. So you will not hear a single word. You'll not hear a single word of criticism, because that's the extent, sir. They've been both muted and, in the case of the men, muted. Thank you very much, sir.
Muted or muted? Call David Clendon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.